Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wise Kracks. John Orlando here in studio with Bill Krackomberger for the second week in a row, but I have a feeling the winds and the allergies are going to make you leave Vegas again soon.
I developed allergies last year for like the first time, and came in today, and my garage is full of pollen.
Yeah.
So I'm suffering a little bit.
That's all right. The show must go on, though.
The show must go on.
I like that. Well, what an exciting week. We've had a crazy week in sports between UFC and Kentucky Derby and all kinds of stuff, the NBA playoffs. How was your trip? I heard in San Diego last weekend they rolled out the red carpet for you.
Yeah, it was nice. They had a blackjack tournament, and me and my friend went there, my friend and I, and we didn't win any money, though. We lost a little bit. But even, the blackjack tournament, we actually came in the money, got $10,000 and still didn't win.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we
because is it 10,000 promo chips?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So, but it was a fun time. 4 days in San Diego.
Yeah.
Local Mexican food there, fantastic. We found some local joints that were great. It was a great time.
And that's Viejas, right?
Viejas Casino. Really nice. The Willows Tower, brand new tower. Well, it's a couple years old now, but it's beautiful. Beautiful.
So my dad has performed there multiple times.
Wow.
I actually opened for him there once, and I want to say it was so long ago, I don't think back then they had a hotel.
They probably didn't.
Yet.
Yeah,
I think it was just a casino, and we stayed like at a Ramada.
Literally,
yeah.
Back in the beginning for a lot of these hotels, it literally was a teepee, like in Temecula, they had Pachanga had a giant teepee.
Right.
So that was the shape of it.
Yeah.
And now there's hotel towers and billion-dollar resort now.
Those casinos, I feel like they have more money or just as much as the Vegas ones, right?
They have probably more.
More, right?
Yeah. No taxes.
Right, no taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We got to pay him back for stealing Manhattan.
There you go. Yeah. You make me laugh, Bill. That's good stuff. See, you took me off my
And I really wasn't even trying to be funny.
No,
it's a terrible thing that happened. But.
Yeah. Okay, what a weekend. We have an incredible show. We've got Dan Cronin, who's a huge horse racing guy. So this is perfect timing coming off of maybe the greatest upset or I guess there was one worse, right?
There was one in 1913, I think it was.
Yeah, so modern day.
Yeah.
For the Derby, an 80-1 shot to win the Derby. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
I was where there was 800 people at the finish line. Everyone had their mouth open.
Really?
There was no noise.
Because like a long shot is 8-1, 12-1, 20-1 winning the Derby is a big deal. 20-1, right?
Yes.
80-1 is like, don't even waste your money. But
won't see it again in our lifetime.
Probably not, right?
No.
And we missed it. Now, when you see a race like that, does it bug you? Like, why didn't I just have $10 on it? No?
No. Listen, I was actually excited for the race at the end when I seen the call of the game, the race. It was just it was so exciting. Even though I lost money, I actually felt like I was part of something.
And this was the first time I missed even just watching it because I was at the UFC fight.
Wow.
And so I didn't see that stretch run until you shared it with me just this morning. And we're going to play it a little bit later in the show. We're going to play it in front of Dan as well. Okay, so what else is going on in sports? Big news. Tom Brady in the news. I can't even believe this offer that he got.
I don't understand it, actually. How do you you're a current player.
Right.
And you get a contract when you're done playing to be on Fox and 10-year deal, $375 million. I don't understand why did they want to lock him up?
I think to lock him up so that he doesn't go somewhere else. I guess, and it's big news. And I guess that's a big. I mean, his football contract's not that big, right?
No, I think they're gonna. What'll happen is he may use that as a bargaining chip for one more year after. If they give me $40 million, and I'll stay with you guys.
That's the minimum now, right? To mess with Tom Brady.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, well, good luck to Tom on that. Maine's governor signed a legal sports betting.
It's only a matter of time. That every state, including the real tough ones like California.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the Mormon states may not have it, but I think California will eventually get it too. I'm hearing next year.
Yeah.
So Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And doesn't hurt Vegas, though. It doesn't seem to, right?
It actually brings on more people. We've learned now through time that Vegas numbers actually have went up sports betting wise.
Wow.
So it actually shows all these other people about sports betting, and they actually come to Vegas and use it as an excuse to come to Vegas. The sun, the fun, and now sports betting, which they now know, and it's actually better for Vegas, believe it or not, in the end.
I'm looking up for the next thrill. The Angels threw a no-hitter last night. The rookie, what's his name? Reed Detmers.
I never heard of him.
Reed Detmers. Yeah, I never heard of him.
Wow, I didn't see it yet.
Yeah,
and it must have been real exciting.
Yeah, it was real exciting. And then he threw some shade. I don't know if you saw the Mets combined for a no-hitter.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
And so Reed said, "This is what a no-hitter looks like." So
I also seen something maybe you didn't see. The Toronto Blue Jays were playing the Yanks.
Yeah,
it was tied up. I think it was 3-3, man on first, and I don't know who was pitching, but he threw the ball and it hit the batter at the home plate, and the umpire threw him out. The pitcher out. And
I didn't see that.
And the bench cleared. Toronto bench cleared. Because it was like, how do you throw? You think I'm throwing at the pitcher?
Right.
I mean, you think I'm throwing a pitch at the batter?
Right. And a tie game.
Tie game, man, on first. I mean, it was crazy. The umpire way out of line.
The umps seem to be missing a lot.
If you're going to be that sensitive,
yeah,
work at the fry station at McDonald's. Stay away from anything that's seriously. Just talk to the fries. Don't be dealing with baseball.
Crack is on a roll today. I love it.
I'm just saying. And nothing against the fry people. I'm just saying.
Right. No,
you're that sensitive that you get yelled at and you throw the pitcher out of the game.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that job.
Yeah, I agree.
Job time.
I agree.
Pal.
There's been a lot of, I don't know if you've seen, like a lot of people complaining about balls and strikes.
Tons this
missing
year.
Blatant calls.
Eventually you'll just have some kind of electronic thing.
Right.
And you won't even need umpires.
Right.
Yeah.
It just hits the box or it doesn't. Right. Yeah. Okay, I was at UFC in Phoenix. When's the last time you went to Phoenix? Phoenix is really nice,
I was in Phoenix
Bill.
a few years ago.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Downtown Phoenix,
I went
spotless.
to Scottsdale, Phoenix, then I forget that. There's a couple because casinos all around. The Talking Stick is one of the casinos there. I watched the UFC this week.
You did?
Well, I cracked it. That's what it's called.
Unofficially, yes.
Cracked it.
Cracked it.
Someone
okay,
sent it to me, and I watched the last round of the girls' fight.
Which was painful to watch.
I didn't see it. It was 5 rounds, right?
Yeah. I mean, I hate to, I know those guys, everyone wants to perform, and so, it's just one of those weird things that happens, but man, it was an uneventful fight.
What was the main event?
The main event was Charles Oliveira.
Okay.
And Justin Gaethje.
Okay, and I watched that fight. My friend thinks that he feels that Oliveira is his favorite fighter of all time. I don't know. Can that be a conversation?
He's so good. So no one has more finishes in the UFC than Charles does. Okay. He's known to be a submission artist, but lately he's been knocking people out. His hand, he submitted Justin, as you saw.
Choked him out.
Yep. But he dropped him to get to the submission.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, myself included, we just haven't really respected Charles' hands.
Wow.
But he's shown.
But I thought Gaethje had got a couple good ones in there.
He's just great. He knocked Charles down maybe 3 or 4 times, and then what you saw was. Charles is known for being so good on the ground off his back to submit you.
That's why he didn't jump on him?
Justin was like, you know what? I'll just wait till you get up, and sooner or later, Justin's thinking, I'll hit you clean.
When I seen him just stand there and let him get up.
Yeah, because he knows it's just too dangerous. You're playing his game. That's
John, what kind of money do those guys make that night?
I don't know what their guarantee was on that
night.
Do
they make $1 million?
Oh, for sure.
So they make millions of dollars.
Yeah, because I'm sure Justin gets pay-per-view points, and usually when you're the champ, you negotiate for pay-per-view points. So, yeah, they probably get okay.
That's the big talk with main events compared to boxing. They don't get the money that boxing gets, so I didn't know if these guys were...
They don't get boxing money, but also, the big boxers, they only fight once a year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, Charles can fight 3 or 4 times a year, so... I don't want to say it balances out because boxing's definitely higher paid.
Right.
But there's certainly a lot of fighters making a lot of money. You know, Conor McGregor.
Who'd you go with?
It's funny. So my friend Chad and Lacey K. Summers, she's got 12 million followers on Instagram. Her and her boyfriend Chad live in Phoenix.
Okay.
So I took them, and
the pint-sized warrior had to work.
The pint-sized warrior had to work. Yeah.
Someone's going to make money.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Exactly. So it was a good fight.
What about these other fights?
Chandler? Man, did you see that?
No.
You only saw the main event? Oh, yeah. Bill. So that's the other thing that made the girl fight so boring is before the girls fought, Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson fought. Tony Ferguson is a longtime veteran, very exciting fighter. He's kind of been on a downward spiral. He's lost maybe 3 of his last 4.
Okay.
But he's still dangerous, this was for sure going to be a fight of the night. Round 1 was a pretty good back and forth. And people thought, oh, wow, Tony's back to his old form.
Yeah.
And Michael Chandler is super exciting. He just came over to the UFC a couple fights ago. He was with Bellator. He was the Bellator champ. And Mike Chandler kicked him with a front kick just right down the middle to the face. And when I tell you I'm not being dramatic, I thought, oh, my God, I think we just saw a guy die. Wow. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to Tony or anything. It was literally like, oh my God, is he okay? Because he was down. They went to commercial break, came back, and he was still down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. But then he got up and he was okay. Yeah. It's crazy how the body shuts off and then you come back, but it was a really great knockout.
The girls fight. Carla.
It was honestly the worst fight I've ever seen.
Wow.
The worst fight. And I'm a Rose fan and I like Carla. I'm not hating on the girls. No one did anything. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was one of those things, how they always say styles make fights?
Yep.
Right? So Rose's stand-up is great. Carla's a wrestler. Rose doesn't want to get taken down, so she's being very hesitant. She'd throw a couple jabs, come out, and back out, not let Carla get her hands on her to take her down. Carla would rather be on the ground than do the stand-up, so it was just like a stalemate, for 5 rounds, man. The whole crowd was booing the entire fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And let's talk about something else that we weren't planning to talk about, but I just thought of it. I seen Canelo Alvarez, 6-1 favorite.
Yeah,
lost to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah,
I'm saying his name right.
Yeah.
It was a total and utter domination.
Yeah, I saw highlights.
I watched the fight. It was a domination, and don't worry, the refs almost blew it again.
Really?
Yes, it was literally. Some people gave Dimitri almost every round, and yet, according to all 3 judges, it came down to the last round on their scorecards.
Really?
The last round, 115, 113 on all 3 scorecards. They did get it right, thank God, but it was
everyone I know that saw the fight said it was domination.
Yeah, Canelo's even warned not to take the rematch here. So
really?
Yeah, it was utter domination.
And this is Canelo went up a weight class for this one, right?
And Canelo actually, this big contract he got, $350 million or something with the Zone. You would think a 6-1 favorite's supposed to perform. I don't know if he just looked
took him lightly or
took him lightly.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was.
I saw footage.
Floyd Mayweather bet 10,000, posted his ticket
on the other guy. Really?
At plus 450, I think it was, or 475. So
wow,
interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Canelo up against the ropes, just getting worked. I mean, that guy was just landing at will.
Yeah. So anyway, it's one other thing that happened.
Is it the best thing that could have happened for Canelo though, money wise, for rematch? I mean, you say don't take it, but money wise. Because wasn't he running out of people to fight?
Listen, the announcers that were on the Zone that night, one called him one of the greatest boxers ever. I almost fell out of my chair. Greatest boxers ever.
Yeah.
He had some controversial victories versus Triple G.
Yeah.
He really. I'm not saying he hasn't fought anybody, but I mean they're handpicked. Like Floyd was real smart and handpicked all his opponents.
Right.
I don't want to put him on my top 25 of all time. So,
yeah.
Some of these guys, they get too caught up in the moment. They think they're seeing something they're not.
Right.
Not taking away anything from Canelo. So, anyway, it's interesting.
NBA playoffs are heating up. 3 of the 4 series have gone to Game 5. So we're at 2-2 with a few of the series.
I haven't watched any. People ask me, "Oh, did you see the game last night?" My buddy Paul said to me, "Hey, you want to see the game last night?" I said, "Paul, you know me. I haven't seen an NBA game for 20 years. I have no interest."
Yeah, me too, man.
Especially in today's NBA.
Yeah,
I have no interest in these guys.
Agreed.
I don't.
When Jordan left, I left.
Yeah, I have zero interest. So
yeah.
But I do bet on totals. I do bet on player props. I've
yes,
done
you
pretty
do.
well.
Let me brag about you for a little bit. Crack wins players 10-5 last week on NBA totals and player props. That's just NBA.
Yeah, we're not going to lose on props. Long term.
I love the confidence like that, and I love that you continue to back it up.
Yeah.
Props. How are you able to do that?
Well, you understand, there's so many these new sports books that have come to the country, DraftKings, the FanDuels, they offer so many ways to bet these games. They offer so many different player props. It's hard to get every one of them. Think about it. So you have, let's say during the season, you'll have 15 games. So now they have to get 15 lines right in the NBA. They have to get 30 lines right in another sport. On the weekend, 100 lines they have to get correct. Now they have to get player props, 6 to 8 to 10 for each game.
Yep.
It's not, they can't get everything right.
Right.
So we specialize in that.
Yeah. Wow. Also, so guys, head on over to crackwins.com or just download the app. It's on Apple. It's on Google Play. PGA, NBA playoffs, baseball, NASCAR. Bill is betting it all and winning it all on the app. Crackwins members receive all the Crackman's plays, insider information, and betting tips. Now's the time to do it. I say it every week. I don't know what you guys are waiting on.
We got some good stuff going on. Golf, NASCAR, of course, baseball, and these NBA player props. Good stuff. So
speaking of baseball, can we just talk about my Dodgers real quick?
Sure.
They're on fire.
Oh, okay.
They're on fire. They have yet to, when they win, they always win by more than 2.
Wow. Now they're doing your last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad all the money's gone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's good. Mind bets.
The
money's all gone from last season laying at 1.5.
Yes, this is fact. WSN, I'm dying over here. See, you got me, Bill. You got me. I'm all choked up. Anything interesting on WSN.com today?
I like when you pull up WSN.com. Of course, our podcasts are all on there. I like that. But also the latest prediction odds and news. Fantastic stuff again. There's lots of fresh articles. No one has articles like them. They have so many articles posted every day. I just looked today. One day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just in this section of the site. So they have some great articles, predictions, like I said. Also, there's golf articles. There's soccer articles. Baseball. I'm just looking at the art. Now I go over to the news articles. All the different states, the Maine governor signing a legal sports betting bill. And then there's a second California sports betting measure. There's an article on that earns a spot on November's election, on November's ballot. Kansas, just so many things on here. Missouri, great. Also, again, more betting news here on here. You can just look at the articles on MLB future betting odds. Interesting that you can actually still bet throughout the season. I forget about this unless I see it on here. These sports books that have come to the country, they offer every day when the night's up, they put up new odds on futures. So to win the World Series, but also over under season wins. Very interesting articles on WSN.com. Of course, all the bonuses. I love that section of the site. Click on bonuses. Click on your state. I'll click on New Jersey. It's the first one here, and you can see this just thousands and thousands of dollars in bonuses, whether it's Caesars, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM. They all have $1,000 ones, by the way. That's the first 4 there. Points bet up to $2,000 risk-free bets. Tipico, $750 risk-free. And it goes on. The list goes on and on. And again, each jurisdiction, you'll see they have negotiated with these sports books to give you the best offers. WSN.com.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to bring on our guest today, Crack. As promised, he is one of the most knowledgeable horse racing guys out there. You can go to his website, fatbaldguyracing.com. How do you not love this genius? Dan Cronin is with us today. How you doing, Dan?
Hey, Dan.
Great day, and it's wonderful outside today, finally. We got about 85 and sunny here. So.
Wow, and you're in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got us beat by at least 15 degrees. We have a high of 70 today. It was like 58 when I left to come into the studio. So again, we talked a little off air. I love Ohio. I used to go to the county fairs, the state fair in Columbus. Great people there in Ohio, and so listen. We had a big weekend here. That's why I was glad to bring you on here. Kentucky Derby. Have you ever been there, Dan?
Oh God, yeah.
God,
I've been to a ton of them.
A ton of Kentucky Derbies. That's like one of my bucket list things.
Yeah, I was at Street Sense, Animal Kingdom, Barbaro. Unfortunately, I was at the War Emblem one. He killed me.
Oh wow.
Uh, yeah, there's been a bunch of Funny Side. I needed an escort out on Funny Side. I looked like the Let It Ride guy.
Oh
I
wow. Oh, the Richard Dreyfuss character.
yeah,
I'm having a very good day.
yeah. And the same thing when Nyquist won. It was hysterical. I had 120,000 in my bag walking out, and we parked in the middle of the hood in Louisville. I'm
Wow.
walking down that street going, oh boy, let's just get to the car.
Oh man, how dangerous.
But yeah, there's
John has
nothing
been
better than the
to.
Derby.
John has probably been to 10.
Yeah, about eight.
Oh, eight Kentucky
derbies.
derbies.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
All, pretty much everyone you just mentioned, plus Big Brown. Yeah. Some good. Some good times. So before we get into this year's Derby, because there's definitely a lot to talk about, tell our audience how did you get into horse racing and all that good stuff.
Well, when I was a kid, my dad was an usher in the grandstand at River Downs. He was a teacher during the school year, and then all summer he was an usher. So he would wipe the seats for all the big owners and stuff, and then he'd get their tips and he'd give them to me, and then I'd run into the clubhouse and tell all the mutual clerks. And so I was going to the track at 5, 6 years old and learning how to handicap at that age too. So by the time I was 16, I was sneaking all the teachers' bets down in April and May down to River Downs. I'd gather them all up, and at study hall, they'd let me sneak out in the car and go bet for everybody and come back. So, yeah, I was in on it all from a young age.
Wow, that's amazing because Dan, I have to tell you, my dad took me to Monmouth. I grew up on the Jersey Shore. My dad took me to Monmouth Park as about an 8, 9-year-old kid, and literally, I spent so much time going to Monmouth Park. It was so close to my house, and I was a little degen at a young age. Didn't realize that that you have to overcome these track odds. I'm a mathematical guy now, and when I think about horse racing, I think about doing it as a hobby or some fun or $5 or $10. Overcoming 15% to 30% even on some of these trifectas and exotics and superfectas, compared to what I do with sports betting, which is literally close to 0%. And I'm mumbling here. By the time I'm done betting them, it's actually in my favor, the sports betting, the games. So it's unusual to have even us bring on a guest for horse racing. I'm very tough on horse racing. But Dan, tell us, how do you overcome the odds? What do you do? By the way, I only know of 2 sets of people. Richie Schwartz, who I knew back in New York and New Jersey, one of the sharpest horse racing guys in the world, won millions and millions of dollars.
Wow.
Millions, Richie Schwartz. And there's a pair of brothers in upstate in Saratoga that are genius horse race bettors. Besides that, I don't know anyone else that wins. So tell us what you do.
Yeah, I completely understand. Our stats will tell you from the ADWs, they try not to tell people that 98% of the accounts lose. And of the 2% that win, 1.5% are computers. So it's extremely hard as a human being to, without some kind of algorithm to actually win. It is. You got to rely on big hits. I think you've got to keep radical notes. You've got to be a numbers guy like you were talking about. I mean, my formula is I know that I have to pick 37% winners. If I don't, I can't win. It's just reality. With the way the takeout is, it's tough. And then you have to play at an ADW that gives you a rebate. You cannot play at one of the national companies and accept coffee mugs when you bet. You just can't. You have to be able to get, a medium range player should be able to get 5%. A top rated player should be able to get 9, 10, 11% rebate. And if you can't, you just have no chance.
Now, what Dan's telling you guys out there is, in other words, you're playing with a shop that gives you, coffee mugs or something for free, or like, certain companies give out hats and stuff. You have to get rebate. You have to get a volume rebate. There are some rebate shops still open, but years ago in Vegas here, we used to have rebate shops here. These places, there was the Boardwalk. I think it was called the Boardwalk. Wow, it's before me. There was a casino out there, right? I think it's where I think the Monte Carlo's there now, and it used to be a big merry-go-round there, and or a Ferris wheel. It's actually a Ferris wheel there. That place everyone went to because they gave an 11% or something like that rebate on your volume. And so what you're saying is you have to have the rebate shops involved in order for you to make money and make a living betting horses. Is that correct? And there still is. Is there some legal ones still open in the country?
Oh yeah, there's still legal ones open. Some of the bigger ones are starting to give them. They don't want to admit it, but they will give them if you keep hounding them. So there's ways to have a chance, and then you have to be good at what you do. You have to be able to pick winners. A lot of guys will say, "Oh, well, you got to have value." I don't think you do. I think you got to be able to pick winners. And if you have winners, and a perfect example is what happened on Saturday, we told all of our buyers that there was 2 horses on the card that absolutely could not lose. Jackie's Warrior in the sprint race. And then we knew, because I'm friends with guys in the barn, that the Brad Cox first-time starter in the 14th race could not lose. If the gate opened, he couldn't lose. So you have to know that kind of stuff, and then you have to pound those things, and then you have to get lucky. I mean, we had 3 of our participants, our fat ball guys, we call them, decided to take all in the Derby. So they hit the pick 5, 110,000, and they all got their money.
All means, just for people that don't know, all
every
means
horse.
You're betting every horse. So the pick 5, you're betting, you're keying certain horses, but you're going to go all in the Kentucky Derby, which gives you every single horse there. You're hoping a long shot comes out, which obviously did.
Right. So they got lucky there. I don't always recommend doing that on a normal day, but on a day when the pools are that big, you can take your number one opinion, which we had Epicenter and Zandon as our number one opinions. I bet the winner book out there in Vegas when I was out there for the UCLA Gonzaga game, I got 89-1 on Zandon. So when they turned for home, that's who I wanted.
Jesus.
And for a split second, I thought I was going to win and get my 50 grand. Wasn't meant to be, but knowing my buddies all hit, I was happy. So, if I'm not going to win, might as well have the unlikeliest of winners win. And then, watching these guys all pace around for 40 minutes waiting for Strobe to run in the last was fun too. And, just normal guys winning, putting in normal size tickets. I saw a ticket for $192 on the pick 5, hit for 110,000. So it can happen, but in horse racing is not like sports, where in sports you can hammer that one game that is going to win. And like you said, you're getting, maybe an even money type deal, once you got your volume. Horse racing, you're paying that takeout no matter what. So you got to really, really be good. And then you got to get lucky with some big hits or you just can't survive. So at least I know a few people that survived the Derby weekend. But we try to help with singles, especially on big days, to where in this sequence of the pick 4 or 5, this is the horse that I would single. And we have been very successful with that over the 8 years we've been doing it. We're running 43% on the singles we're giving out 5 days a week. So, you almost got a 1 out of 2 chance that single's going to hit. Now you got to figure out the rest of the races, but at least which race, to go short in, where you only need this horse. And, it almost like a caddy, at least it gives you that help for the peanuts that we charge. We're not charging a big fee. It's $30 a month to be part of our deal.
Oh, wow.
It's not like we're charging $300 or $400. We're just trying to help. And I don't ever want to price out the little guy, where the big guys, they all join because they just want to see who we're single. And even if they're going against them, where the little guys, they're really dependent on that single. So, I try to dive in hard. I'm a big formulator guy and a little bit of the rag sheets. But I agree with you. It's a tough game. It's not easy.
The language you're using, I do not use ever. You said something like, it has to win or something. You use something like that with these 2 horses that can't lose. That's something that Bill Krackomberger never, even in sports, I never use the word lock or can't lose. So that's a little.
I do, Dan.
It's a little too strong for me. John uses that language.
Bet the house.
Bet the house, and yeah,
there it is.
No, I can't lose. But what an amazing Kentucky Derby last week. You're talking about it. it was so exciting. Even though I didn't win any money on this race, by the way, it was so exciting. Longest shot on the board. The drone video, the overhead shot, I tweeted it out where Rich Strike weaved his way in and out of traffic unbelievably, and flew on the inside of the stretch. Probably one of the best calls I've ever heard. Dan, I hope I'm saying his name right. Was it Dan Kalmus? Am I saying his name right?
Larry Colmus.
Larry Colmus. Okay, I'm sorry. See, you can tell what I know. Larry Colmus was just unbelievable calling that race. The track announcer, I think he's a track announcer at Kentucky Downs. He's not even at the Derby normally, but he does NBC and big races.
He used to be in New York, and then he was at Gulfstream. Now he does NBC. He's generally looked at as one of the top 2 or 3.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, and NBC,
we actually have it here. Travis, can we take a look for our viewers and take a look at that last stretch call of the drone footage?
Seconds,
So
and now
good.
Epicenter comes splitting horses and is moving up quickly as Crown Pride takes the lead around the far turn. It is Crown Pride battling with
Here comes the
Messier.
winning
They're stride
decision.
for stride. Epicenter and Zozo's in behind them. Cyberknife swings up on the outside. Sandon gets the rail run, and they're into the
Side
stretch.
to the rail.
And it's Messier,
Great
Crown
player.
Pride, and Epicenter is coming up on the outside. Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandon is coming.
Look at this guy. He's in his way here, Joe.
Look at that right there, that move.
Wow.
These two, stride for stride, simplification down the outside is next.
I got chills
They're
again.
coming down to the wire. Epicenter's ended. Rich Strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness! The longest
Wow.
shot has won
Wow.
the Kentucky Derby.
This was just so brilliant.
Chills. I got chills again.
If you're a play-by-play,
I got him too.
Yeah.
if you're a play-by-play person or a broadcaster, you pick your spots when to raise your voice.
Yeah.
This Larry Colmus, just unbelievable. I've watched this a dozen times.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't win a penny on this race. His shock and exciting call got me so exciting. My hairs on my arms were standing up. For someone that
Tell
sees,
me, did you guys yell, "Who in the hell is that"?
I was with I was where 800 people were. I was in San Diego at a casino in the race book. 800 people. You could hear a pin drop, I think, at the end of the race. Who won? Who was
Right.
that? Like, no one had this horse. Dan.
I thought it was the 2 because the saddle costs were
you
close.
can see the 2. Right.
And I thought the 2, there's no way. And then I saw it again. I said, "Oh my God, it's even worse. It's 21. That's impossible."
For someone that's seen so many races, where does that rank for you? As what does a finish rank for you as far as Kentucky
it's
Derbies?
right up there with Mine That Bird is the most illogical result I have seen in a long, long time. It just, you can't, I don't care how many times you try to red board, you can't have him. You just can't. The only people I know that cashed on the Derby hit the all button.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. John?
If you took 2 or 3 horses out and tried to save money, you would have taken him out.
For sure. I mean, that run is one of those, like, only in a movie, right?
Yeah.
That only happens in
Yeah.
a movie. If you saw that in a movie, you'd be like, come on, man, guys. Really?
Yeah.
From dead last, pretty much. I mean, he had no shot at the top of the stretch.
Jesus.
No
Don't
shot.
forget, he was 9 minutes from not even being in the race.
Right.
9 minutes. If Wayne Lucas doesn't say, "You know what? I've been in the Derby 20 something times. Let the poor guy in. My horse has no chance. Just call Reed and let him in." If he doesn't do that, he doesn't even run in the race.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Wayne Lucas
had 10
stepped aside.
10 minutes before the scratch deadline. Wayne Lucas decided to scratch his horse and let Reed run.
Wow. What a great
And they don't know
great
each
story.
other.
Yeah.
They're not friends.
Right.
He just thought, well, my horse isn't doing great, and I've been in so many of them, and he knew he had the Oaks winner. He thought he had the Oaks winner, and he did.
Right.
But Friday morning at, I think it was 9:51, they got the call, and the deadline was at 10.
Wow.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, that's beyond exciting.
And think about this, guys. They were 24th on the list and
Jesus.
shipped to Churchill. Who ships to Churchill when you're 24th on the list?
Oh,
Why would you ship? You have no chance to get into the race.
Jesus.
And they shipped anyway.
They got to make a documentary on this. This is too good. All this backstory. This is great.
Now I will tell you this. I'm 15 minutes from Belterra Park where I live. I go there all the time. And I was there on Friday, Oaks Day at Belterra, and I bet on Sonny Leone, and I bet on him all the time. He's a good rider. So people that say, well, who in the world is he? Well, he's a minor league rider, but he is a good rider. So it's not shocking that he made the right decisions. It's not like he's a bum. He's one of the top riders at Belterra and on this, minor league circuit around here. He's the guy that you lean to at Belterra, when you're looking for a good rider. So, that part, people just don't know that he is a good, solid rider. As far as the horse, I mean, he got the meltdown that he needed. He got the trip that he needed. He tried to take out the outrider and the pony afterwards.
What was that about? Tell John what happened there. They when the race is over, I guess is that called an outrider? The other horse comes and walks.
The outrider and the pony. Their job is they have to go over and get the horse and bring him over to the channel to the NBC girl who does the interview.
Right.
Well, that horse had only won one time, so he's never had an outrider approaching him like that. So the horse thought that it was another horse to beat, so he took off again trying to beat him.
Right.
He's in that mode. I got to get in front of him.
He's got a lot of game, this horse.
Amazing.
So Dan,
the outrider reaches over and grabs the reins. Well, as soon as he grabbed the reins, the horse turned and bit him in the leg.
I love this. Might be my favorite horse ever.
He was biting him, and he wouldn't stop biting. He was biting the other horse too, right?
Yeah, he bit the outrider, took a chunk out of his calf, and then he bit the neck of the horse.
Yep.
The pony's got a huge gash out of his neck where he bit the pony, and then he kept slinging the reins to get him to stop. Well, the one day a year people thought that he was punching the horse. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He was snapping the reins to get the horse to stop biting.
Right.
And then they finally were able to get the longer rein to get him away from the pony and still control him. And then he calmed down. And once his little groom walked over and got a hold of him, he was fine because him and the groom were obviously buddies. They were hugging and kissing each other. So once the groom got there, they were fine. But it was a little dangerous for a while.
So, Dan, let me ask you this. Do you give him any chance of winning either the Preakness or the Belmont?
If early voting's in the race in the Preakness, which it looks like he is, there's going to be a fast pace again. Epicenter's going to make it a fast pace with early voting. So he's got a little chance, maybe a 10 to 12 to 1 type chance. But he's not. Especially if Secret Oath, the filly goes, Epicenter goes, if Zandon and Simplification all go, he's probably the 4th or 5th most likely horse to win.
What do you think he'll go? What's he going to go off at? Like, will he be another long shot?
Yeah, he's going to be somewhere in the 8 to 12 to 1 range, depending on who runs.
Wow, amazing! Would you ever think a Kentucky Derby winner? The next race, the next hurdle of the Triple Crown would be 10 to 1.
Right.
Right. Now in the Belmont, they say he likes to run all day, but in the Belmont, you usually get a slow pace, and it's usually a galloper's race to where they just gallop along and don't stop. So I wouldn't like him at all in the Belmont. He don't have the right style for the Belmont for me.
Gotcha. Well, Dan, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. This is it's a little bit of a knowledge for us too. We didn't understand. I didn't know why the horse was biting the other horse. I don't really know that much about horse racing like that. I just figured because he was, he's new to winning and new to having an outrider next to him, and that was interesting. But also your knowledge of horse racing and the different things you're talking about. We really appreciate it. Look forward to maybe having you on again for a big race.
And I'll see you in Vegas here in November when UCLA comes back.
All right. Dan Cronin, everyone.
Well, that was fun. I like that you are not afraid to tell the horse racing guys that you're going to be hard on them. I like that.
I never met Dan.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't.
Nice guy.
I hope he doesn't take insult to that.
No, I don't think he would.
When someone uses the word, what did he use?
Can't lose.
Can't lose.
Yeah.
That's not me. Can't lose. You know me.
Yeah.
So
he speaks my language.
Yeah, but we're our show's Wise Kracks. We're wise guys. We talk about, at least I am.
Yeah.
Talk about winning and being sharp and. I don't use the word lock or lose. So
I did like that he said,
but he knows
cool. He knows the math side of it though. He was saying
I like that.
37% is the magic number for him, which is shockingly low compared to when you see all the people that claim 60% winners, 80%, 90%. Right?
He'll be the only horse race guy I have on though, probably. Unless maybe I'd like to get Larry Colmus, that announcer, on. Wow.
Yo, man, that would be great.
He was so good.
Can you get him?
I don't know. He's on Twitter. I just followed him.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
this was good
stuff.
Yeah.
Great, John.
You back in town next week? Or?
Yes.
All right. Wow. All right. 3 in a row. All right. Let's do it. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.